Here's part two of All About Scorpio. Okay, if you listen to the first recording or audio recording, thank you so much. And basically on the second part, I'm going to talk about or try to discuss more about a Scorpio's trait, behavior, or certain topics about how a Scorpio behaves on a certain subject, or how they react to a certain thing or event, okay? And like what I've mentioned in the first recording, this doesn't apply to all Scorpios out there. You have to pay attention to your rising sign as well, or your moon sign. And another thing I'd like to mention that I got really interested about astrology because when I stumbled on, just by reading books, okay? When I stumbled on some books about Scorpios or articles about Scorpios, I was like, wow, this is really amazing. Like, I can definitely relate with it. Like, I thought that it was just me personally, but to find out that a lot of Scorpios are like that, then I could really tell or, understand that maybe a lot of Scorpios are really behaving like that or believes on things like that or whatever. And a lot of my friends or acquaintances are also Scorpio people. A lot of them are water signs, except Pisces, who's also a water sign, but most of our friends are actually Scorpios, or acquaintances are Scorpios and Cancerians, okay? All right, so let's start with the first one. This one is pretty interesting. It's about privacy, okay? It says here that Scorpio people, they greatly value their privacy, so people who know them will only know them to a point. Yeah, there's like a hierarchy. I would definitely agree to that one. There's that hierarchy where you have close friends, or there's friends, close friends, closer, and closest. Okay. But seriously, we try to show whatever it is that we wanted a certain person to know about us. For instance, if it's in just, if it's around the workplace and it's someone that you're not really close with, then here are just a certain information that you wanted to show them about yourself. You don't want to bear it all. Because again, Scorpios, they value their privacy. They don't want to show everything. They don't want to divulge everything. It's not that they're being fake. It's just that they're very cautious, okay? And aside from the fact that, if they don't find a person so trustworthy, then why the hell would they spend a lot of time or, tell them everything about what they are, who they are. They would rather, spend a lot of their energies on people that they truly trust, okay? Now, I'm going to use Facebook as an example. I guess this one is, and we're talking about privacy here, and I could really relate with it. Although I don't have a Facebook account, I used to have one, and it got deactivated, and I got hacked, actually, and I told myself, since I'm not really into Facebook, I'm not going to create one. But if ever I'm going to create a social site such as, Facebook, a lot of people are asking me, what's your Facebook account? Add me in your Facebook account. I don't have one. And it's because I'm not really into it. That's the number one thing. And number two, if ever I'm going to have a Facebook account, I'm not going to add all people, like almost everybody out there. It's funny, you see people like, even though they're not really close, like you just met them like 5 minutes ago and they're like, hey, add me on my Facebook account. Here's my Facebook. Try to add me up there. I'm pretty much not comfortable with that. Probably it's because of being a Scorpio. Because I would, if I have that Facebook account, I would rather add people that I really trust, that I really know, because I'm not comfortable like people seeing my updates, really people seeing what I'm doing right now and all that. And I'm also not the type is going to share everything about what's going on with my life right now, especially if I'm not comfortable with it. So I would definitely add people who are really close to me, people that I trust, family members definitely is the number one thing, and then closest friends, because we're really private. We're not really comfortable about people knowing everything that we're doing, people really knowing what, how we're doing today or what we're up to right now. I would rather, share that to people that I really trust. But for other people that I'm not really close with, or even strangers, I'm not going to share that. I'm not going to share all those intimate stuffs or those, things to just everybody. I guess that's the private thing about me. I'm talking about my personal experience here. So I'm not sure if other Scorpios can relate with that. But I would interpret that or try to relate privacy with that kind of topic there. I do have other social networking sites. One of them would be Ameba, which is a Japanese site and a Japanese blog. Another would be the Pinterest, okay? But I use moniker. I don't really share everything. I'm an honest person, but I don't totally share everything, where I live, what's my real name is, and all that stuff, because again, it's not only about being comfortable, but I guess it's also about Scorpios being secretive. And again, don't take the secretive thing in a negative light. Scorpios are secretive for a reason. And it's funny because a lot of people falls for that mysterious thing, about Scorpios being mysterious, because again, we're not really comfortable about, letting everybody know what else we're doing or what we're thinking and all that. That's part of us being, naturally mysterious and secretive, okay? All right, so what's the next topic here? All right, so let's talk about Scorpio male and female. And now this one is something that I'd like to share to all of you. I guess I've mentioned this in the previous recording, the part 1 of All About Scorpio. I read this book, this really interesting book by Linda Goodman. She got me really interested into astrology, actually. I'm already interested in astrology, but by reading her book, I was like, wow, this is so amazing, And what I like about Linda Goodman is she's very straightforward. She can really uncover, specific details about each sun sign, about the traits of each sun sign. So when I read her article, or rather the book about Scorpios, I was so amazed. Okay, she can really, really talk about Scorpio in great detail and very specific. There's Scorpio male, there's Scorpio female, there's Scorpio boss, there's Scorpio employee, and a Scorpio child. So I definitely recommend for you to read that book if you're really interested into the general sun sign traits. Okay, so okay. Anyway, let's start off with Scorpio male. It says here, Scorpio males are extremely mysterious, knows how to get in a person's head, physically alluring, has a sexuality that can excite, yet sex is not his main mission if he is into you, likes independency and intelligence in a partner, but doesn't want someone too inquisitive, uses silence and intrigue as his tactics. A lot of my Scorpio friends are, especially males, are pretty much like that, A lot of my acquaintances and friends who are water signs, especially Scorpios, they do act like that. And I would definitely use my Scorpio best friend here. One of my best friend who's a guy. He's a Scorpio, and he was born November 17th, and he really is a Scorpio, I tell you. And he possesses these type of traits. So yeah, he's really extremely mysterious. He's not really the type is going to show everything about himself. You know, a lot of people find him intriguing, like they're pretty much intrigued about who he is because he's the quiet type, basically. That's what makes him really mysterious. He's really the quiet type, especially to the opposite sex, you know. And I've known him for quite some time, and I would have to say that he really possessed the traits of a Scorpio male. This one is interesting. It says here that most Scorpio males, or the Scorpio males, they value or they like independent women and intelligent women. I guess it's not just about Scorpio males, but also Scorpio females. I'm not sure, but of course, as a Scorpio female, that's one of my priority, or one of the top things, you know, top of my list. I wanted a partner who's very intellectual, someone who's very intelligent, someone that I can really converse with and not, you know, get bored, you know, someone who's very open-minded. So I also noticed that a Scorpio male that I know, they really like a woman who's very, very open-minded, is very independent. They don't want clingy women. They really, you know, dislike clingy women because they wanted freedom themselves. So they don't want women who are very clingy and too emotional because they're already emotional themselves. So they don't like that in a partner or opposite sex. They really wanted someone who's very independent, because Scorpio people in general, not just males, but Scorpio people in general are fiercely independent, okay? And they wanted someone that they can actually get in a conversation with without getting bored. You know, they value individuals, or let's say the opposite sex, females, who can actually be very, very witty and very intelligent, very intellectual, knowledgeable about a certain thing or other things, and very open-minded and creative. So, and again, for me, it doesn't apply just to Scorpio males, but also to Scorpio females, because you know, it doesn't matter. Even if that person is so freaking hot, but they, you know, they're very boring, or they think pretty slow, then, you know, you would definitely, personally, you know, I would not go for that kind of person. Like, especially in the romantic side, you know, like I would get turned off pretty easily, even though that person or that guy looks so freaking hot. But if they're not pretty much the intellectual type, then it bores me easily. Like, yeah, I don't really go for that, you know, so it's not just about the looks. Scorpio male and females are pretty much into the intellectual side of things as well. So it's not just the physical thing, all right? And what else? Physically alluring. Yeah, a lot of the Scorpio men that I know, they're pretty much, even though they're pretty much chubby, they have this sexiness in them. Male and females, not just males, but also females. I don't know, but, you know, some of them, they have this really, they're well built, they're very strong and physically, you know, strong and all that. Now move over to female. Let's move on to the female Scorpios, okay? Let's see here. Female Scorpios are strong, yet soft, kind, and compassionate, can be shy as well, can rise without showboating, love so deeply that it can even scare her at times, believe sex is power, but is selective, possessive, but wants her freedom, mysterious and investigative, and very passionate. Okay, there are some things here that I can't relate with, so I'm not going to talk about it, being a female Scorpio, but I would agree that Scorpio females are really strong yet soft. A lot of the Scorpio females that I know, they're part tomboy and part femme fatale. Just like me, you know, I'm a bit boyish. I'm not really like the girl girly type. So I don't know. So there's that sort of balance. Like you can sense that there's a masculine side in, the Scorpio females. I'm not sure if you Scorpios or other people out there listening to this recording who knows a Scorpio female would agree to that. But a lot of the Scorpio females that I know, I'm not just me, of course, but other people that I know who are Scorpios, especially females, are pretty much the boyish type. They have this, not really that totally boyish, but they have this masculine side in them, but they can be so soft and so kind. So it's a balance. And they're very kind and compassionate, especially to the people who deserves that. You can't expect a Scorpio female or Scorpio in general to be so kind to someone who's really mean and so nasty, of course. But they can be very compassionate and very empathic to the people that deserves that. And yeah, they love so deeply. They do. They really, I guess I've mentioned that on the previous recording that Scorpios love very hard. When they love someone, they really do, show it, and they are, it's all or nothing, Either they love you so deeply or they don't love you at all. And what else? Possessive but wants her freedom. They're possessive of their friends and their relationships. I know someone who's a Scorpio male, although this is about Scorpio females. I'm also pretty much the possessive type, but I've tried to, how do I put this? I tried to balance it. I try, rather, as much as possible, not to be too possessive, because anything in excess is bad, right? But I would definitely agree that a lot of Scorpios that I know are extremely possessive of their partners or their friends, okay? I know someone who's actually, this one is a Scorpio guy. He's very possessive even to friends. Like, he doesn't want, his friends to be friends with other people. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, they get jealous of it. They get jealous of the attention. Like, they just wanted to have this circle of friends. Like, we're just the only ones who are close. And if they find your other friends be close to another person, like, it's pretty much a big deal to them. Like, they don't want that. Again, this doesn't apply to all Scorpios, okay? But yeah, they can be very much possessive. Now, when it comes to the freedom thing, I'm going to talk about that later on, because there's a topic about Scorpio. They wanted their freedom. They're pretty much the loners of the zodiac. I'm going to discuss about that, and that's going to be the last topic for this recording. But let's move on to Scorpio females being so mysterious and investigative. And again, this is also something that I've discussed in the previous recording, the part 1, that Scorpios are very resourceful and investigative, especially if they're really interested in a certain topic or subject or a certain person. They can really, really uncover a lot of information that even, the closest friend of that person doesn't even know. I'm not exaggerating it, but if if there's something about Scorpios that I'm really, really amazed about, it's about Scorpios being too informative and resourceful and investigative. Other people would call them like they're stalkers, like what I mentioned in the first recording. But it's not really about them being stalkers. It's just about, Scorpios having that passion for uncovering things. They do love to uncover hidden things, mysterious things, but they remain mysterious themselves, which is funny and ironic, But yeah, that's true. And speaking about passion, Scorpios are very passionate in what they do. Whether that's a hobby or whether that's a career that they really like, they're very passionate, or a person that they really like, they can, really show you how passionate they are. Okay, so that's about it. Let's move on to the last topic of this recording. And again, this is about Scorpios wanting freedom and being the loners of the zodiac. Okay, so Scorpios, yeah, they're actually tagged as loners of the zodiac because, again, they're fiercely independent. I will not be surprised if you know someone who's a Scorpio who is, somewhat. There are times that they are detached, that there are times like they're, you can't get a hold of them. They're like incommunicados, or it's like, suddenly they're like gone, like you were here a second ago and then you're gone. And then, they have this thing where they wanted to be alone. Honestly, I thought that was just me. But, reading articles, books about Scorpios, and when I found out that a lot of Scorpios does that, I was like, oh my God, I thought it was just me. So, my interpretation of that, or my opinion of that is this. When a Scorpio does that, it's because they just wanted to recharge, okay? Because Scorpios are very intense. And, of course, anything that is, very intense, it wears out, right? So it's like a battery. They wanted to recharge their battery. So what they do is they try to, find that space alone to think, to reflect on things, or to analyze and study some things, okay? It could also be because they got hurt about a certain situation or about a certain person. That's why they needed some space. It could be a number of things. But normally when a Scorpio is actually alone, or they wanted to have that alone time, it's just that they wanted some space for themselves. They wanted to think. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that they're mad at you or they wanted you out of their life, but it's just that they wanted to have that me time, to reflect, to study themselves, to reflect on things, I don't know if other Scorpios listening to this could agree or what's their interpretation of that, but personally speaking, that's what I do. There are times like, I just wanted to, get myself detached from the society, or most of the time I'm alone, we're the loners of the zodiac. It's just that I'm not, again, comfortable, being in a group of people all the time. There are times I just wanted to have that alone time all by myself to think and to reflect on things. So, there you go. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening to the second part of All About Scorpio. If you have any comments, I'm going to post this again on Pinterest. And if you have any comments, feel free to do so or leave me a private message. And watch out for the third part of some interesting things about what a Scorpio normally does, how they behave, how they think. And these, again, are just general traits, okay? And this, again, doesn't apply to all Scorpio people out there. You need to pay attention to your rising or your moon sign, okay? Not just your sun sign. All right, that's about it. I gotta go. Goodbye.